What's up, YouTube? Dubkdadone Team DKF. You guys probably noticed it's ban list time. September 1st is a few weeks away. A lot of the other channels are putting up their ban list predictions, cars they feel should get hit, what they feel are going to get hit. Um, that's all fine and good, but it's kind of like what Mega Capital G said. Konami is unpredictable. You never know, so you might as well just wait and see. No sense of bitching about what you think should get hit now. At this point, the list is already made, and no amount of bitching from us is going to do anything about it. So we just kind of play the wait and see game. Um, but instead of talking about what I feel should be banned, I'm going to wait until after the list comes out and talk about how I feel about the decisions Konami has made and how I feel that it'll affect the upcoming meta. So for now, though, I want to talk about the cards that I wish were playable. Not necessarily cards that used to be broken, but cards that seem like no play and seem like they're just one word or one phrase or one sentence or one archetype from just being playable or broken or just like really good. And it'll be a series. And today I'm going to start with traps. So what I have here are Mind Haxers, Cloak and Dagger, By Order of the Emperor, and Blasting Fuse. We'll start with Mind Haxers. The card text is pay 500 life points, look at your opponent's hand, and all set cards on his or her side of the field. You guys know how good opening Dust Shoot is. Getting that game state information is like priceless, and that card does that. Dust Shoot just gives you the information in her hand. This gives you information on the field that, there are back rows. Do you really want to summon to that warning? Or do you want to attack that face down Sangin and give them what they want, or whatever? It's chainable. You set this with some other cards, they blind MST. Mind Haxers, you see their whole hand and you see all their sets. That's pretty cool. But the problem is it's an inherent neg 1. Unlike Dust Shoot, it's a 1-for-1 because at least you get to throw a card back, so you lose your Dust Shoot and they lose a card. But Mind Haxers, you pay the 500 life points and you just get the information. That's not exactly that advantageous, but that's kind of what makes this card not so playable. Also, it's a terrible top deck. You get the card and you're already down. You play the Mind Haxers, and okay, fine. They have 2 warnings, and they have whatever answer they need in their hand to whatever play you're about to make. What are you gonna do? And that's another one of the things that sucks about the card and the reason why the card sees no play. The next card is Cloak and Dagger. Declare one monster card name. If your opponent normal summons, special summons, or flips that monster face up, remove that monster and this card from play. I really liked this card when it first came out. And then I tried to use the card when X-Sabers got really popular. I tried to use the card when Chaos Return was huge. But it was just crazy because taking out their monsters by just simple logic. They play flip return from different dimension, targeting their remove from play DMOC and this and that, and you just call it and it's gone. Or they have multiple monsters with the same name, it hits all of them, they're all gone. During X-Sabers format, I tried to play the card again. They play got him Zim E-Call. I'm like, what do you target? Well, I'm going to get both of my Dark Souls. Cloak and Dagger, both the Dark Souls are removed before they can do anything with it. And another cool thing about the card is that it banishes the card, removes them from play instead of destroys them, so it can dodge a lot of effects. It can dodge Stardust and Musakani, Maga, Naga, whatever it's called. You dodge that effect too. But the problem with the card, again, is in most cases you'd rather have the chain disappearance of bottomless trap hole, and it's just susceptible to removal. And it's just another one of those cards, just a bad top deck, and it's just like, if only, if only, if only it would be so good. And that's why it doesn't see play. By Order of the Emperor, another card that I thought would have been good. This text is, you can choose to negate the activation of an effect monster's effect that activates when a monster is normal summoned, including itself. If you do, that effect monster's controller draws one card. Now all that gobbledygook of text means that if I have this card face up and they tribute for Caius or Mobius and activate the effect, I can chain the effect of Order of the Emperor and give them a card negating their monarch's effect. Now, how's this kind of relevant for now? Well, this card hits Junk Synchron, it hits Debris Dragon, and most importantly, hits Tour Guide of the Underworld. Something else you guys probably didn't know about it is that you can stop King Tiger Wangu with this card, because if you normal summon your little minion monster, King Tiger will attempt to kill it, but you can negate the effect with My Order Emperor and let your minion survive and proceed with your play. The problem with this card is that it gives the opponent a card and it doesn't destroy their monster. You know, Pulling a Rug is came out before this card. You know, it was just another one of those cards where Konami gave it to us a bit too late and it didn't get to see play. And if it destroyed the monster, as well as giving them a card, you know, I'd find that balanced. And the fact that it was continuous means you can keep using it. And I wouldn't mind giving them a card if I got to get rid of their monster as well. But, you know, that's not what happens. Also, Phoenix Chain and Valor are cards that kind of outshine the usefulness of this card as well. The last trap is Blasting Fuse, and I really love this card. Activate only when all 4 zones of this card's column are occupied. Destroy all cards in this column. Now, I don't know how else to explain this other than people who remember a deck that tried to see play. It was Wild Heart Control. You know, you summon your Wild Heart, you set Blasting Fuse behind Wild Heart, and then in the hopes that your opponent would set their monster and then their spell card, like their Magician of Faith, and their Sakuretsu Armor or whatever card behind it. And then in the end phase, you nuke them with Blasting Fuse. You know, that's awesome. I mean, the card's chainable. I mean, it's as devastating as an end phase Icarus. It destroys opponent's setup, and the play is easy to set up. And the problem is people don't use zones the way they're supposed to. You know, there's nothing wrong with setting a monster in one zone and you're spelling traps all over the place, but most time people play on spell grounds or they play on maps that don't have zones and you can never tell where the zones are. Or, you know, after a play, you know, their monsters kind of get moved around, spell and traps get moved around, and it just can't see play. You know, if this were enforced in just casual play, local level, even regional level, you know, I feel the card could be awesome. Only problem is it'll probably only work one turn or one time, because as soon as they realize you're playing Blasting Fuse, they're not going to perfectly line up their cards. But as it is now, you know, especially with people setting 4 or 5 cards in the back row and summoning a monster, you know, Blasting Fuse could really do some damage. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoy this. Remember, next up is going to be spells, and then the video after that will be monsters. Be sure to check out my blog. I appreciate the support you guys are showing on my blog. I try to have something up there like every other day. Just my thoughts, things I didn't quite touch on in the video, or just additional thoughts that I didn't have time for in the video, or just other random tidbits. So be sure to check that out. Check out the other links in the under bar. This is dubkdadone, Team DKF, and I'm out.